Today I'm talking to Sony Music India's one of their youngest talents that they've just signed on, Taaruk Raina. Hi Taaruk, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for joining us on BizAsiaLive.com. It's wonderful to talk to you. And I've got
It,
to say, start off by saying congratulations on your new single. How do you feel?
I feel great, to be honest. I mean, I've been waiting for this for so long that I kind of, when it came out, I didn't even know how to react because so much work just went into it, and then I kind of just ran out of things to do because I was constantly just on it. And then the day it came out, I was just like, what do I do now? But yeah, now that people are really liking the song and stuff, I feel great. I love it, honestly.
Absolutely. So for anyone watching who doesn't know, you've sung the song, you've composed, like co-composed the lyrics. You've
Yes.
also composed it and sung it as well. Sorry, I forgot the last bit.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
You're pretty much an all-rounder. What inspired you for this song?
Well, this song came from just talking about when Charan and I were writing the song, we were just talking about uh, uh, things that take away your peace, and I was just playing a riff that you hear in the song. And Charan just said, I this reminds me of a feeling. I'm like, what feeling? So it's like Sukoon. So then we started discussing that what takes your Sukoon away from you. And I think the easiest thing that takes your Sukoon away from you is a heartbreak. So because that's the first thing that goes away, that the peace goes away, or mental peace kind of just goes for a toss. So I mean, yeah, so we started discussing that, and then we got into talking about it wasn't even about like a specific event, it was just how powerful heartbreak is as an emotion. So it's like it wasn't even like a specific thing, it was like a general thing. That's why it's so easy to just remember and talk about. Like even if you ask anybody what happened in their life like 10 years ago, maybe their heart was broken, they'll remember it like it was yesterday. That's how powerful that is. So then we got to talking, and then we started writing the song, and that's how the lines come kind of came about.
Okay, perfect. So how did you end up getting signed by Sony Music India? How did that come about?
I uh, I don't I don't even know. um I was constantly kind of making music, and making them listen to some stuff, pitching them new stuff, and I guess one worked out out of like the attempts. It was kind of like a paper toss situation. I finally got one in the basket. But but yeah, so it kind of just worked out. And I sometimes I kind of forget how difficult it is, to get a song out on like a massive international label like Sony Music. I guess I got a little lucky too. So that's always there. So yeah, it was just a lot of things that had to fall into place. It took time, but it was worth it. I guess it's all in retrospect now.
Absolutely. So how do you feel being one of their kind of new up and coming talents? That's actually quite a big kind of thing to shoulder, right?
It's scary, I'll be honest with you. But at the same time, I feel like because I'm like one of the young ones, I don't have that much pressure riding on me. Like I feel like there's this, although I don't want to, but I feel like, if I make a mistake, people aren't gonna be like, he's gonna be like, okay, he's new, he's just started off, maybe it's fine. But on the other hand, to be associated with such a massive label like and with artists all over the world, and big artists in India as well, it's kind of scary, but at the same time very exciting. So I mean, I'm just glad that I'm kind of in the same boat, in the same vicinity as that. At least I'm in like the right place, and I guess the rest will work it out like itself. So
Yeah, absolutely. Just to talk about the video of Sukun for a moment, I find the video quite almost futuristic, if you like. Did you kind of have input in the process or anything like that of how the video was shot?
I mean, to be honest, we were looking for something edgy. The director of the video, Ishan Nair, had this vision of, let's make the visuals look like this. Let's make it a sci-fi space. That's the edgiest it can get. Let's put a little heat into it as well. Something that kind of just pops and is different than anything else done in India, at least. So it just came about like that. And then the dude's a magician, what can I say? He just made us look like, and the whole song so cool. And so yeah, it was just that, like, we, the song is about remembrance. And then we took up the concept of maybe, um it's almost Black Mirror-esque, where we're going through the memories on a VR headset, which I think is a very close change in the world. I think in the next 4 or 5 years we'll be doing that. I mean, VR will be kind of really common. I mean, it is already very common, but it'll just be like a daily use thing. So we took that concept, and then of course there was some performance treatments and lighting and all of that, and then it just, yeah, it kind of worked out all together. And Aisha was in the video, so that was a massive plus. She looks amazing. She, her face, her mood just completely fit into the emotion of the song. So I mean, it just came together, like, thankfully.
I was just about to ask you actually about Aisha Emma, who is in the video with you. I think you share quite an interesting chemistry. Did you know each other before, or was this the first project?
Aisha is one of my closest friends. I've known her for a while. In fact, she was one of the first people I met when I moved to Mumbai. So she's like a buddy of mine. Like, we've known each other for a long time, and I couldn't think of anybody else for the video. So I was just glad that she was a part of my first video. And yeah, it was very smooth, because it was very comfortable. It was very smooth. She's known me since I was like 18 years old. so so it was like that. And she was younger, so she was like 17 years old. So I mean, we've known each other since we were kids, so it's all good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that translates quite well on screen in the video. I have to ask you actually, I watched you in Mismatched and I thought you were absolutely great. And pardon me, I hadn't actually seen you anywhere before Mismatched. So
Oh, that's fine.
when I saw this Sukoon video come, I was like, this is the same guy. So I've got to say, you're very multi-talented.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm actually very different in Mismatch. That was quite a character for me to play. I mean, it's aggressive to say the least. And it's weird because people actually think I'm like that. uh, and I'm just like, but I was just acting. And like, no, like, I've gotten messages saying, how can you be so rude to Dimple? And I'm just like, but that's, I didn't do that. Like, it's just like, that's not me in reality. That's just me doing my job. But yeah, I'm very happy, like, that the characters become so convincing. And the show's getting like some great responses and great reactions, and people are liking the show. So yeah, it kind of worked in tandem. Like, Mismatched came out, and then 4 days later my song was out. So it was kind of, actually, I'm very glad, because I feel like if my song wasn't out, people would actually think I'm that guy. So I'm glad that there was another video of me showing me in a different light than the other one. And kind of like, yeah, he's not such a bad human being. So yeah.
It's quite funny how people get absorbed in characters, but it just shows you
Yeah.
play very well. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm happy. That's like, I'll live with it.
Absolutely. So when you came to when you kind of went to Mumbai, did you aspire to be an actor, or did you want to get into music at some point?
So I always wanted to get into music, but it was a little difficult in the start, because I didn't know my way around it. And the music business is a tough business, to be honest. It's even kind of smaller and more compact and concise than the film business and the acting business. So I actually got an opportunity to act before I could sing. It was just one of those things. And I'll be extremely honest with you, I'm no rich kid. So I needed to work. So I did the work I got. And one thing brought me to another, and then the acting gig also kind of took off, and I finally met the right people to do music with. So I think at the end of the day, it all worked out. I mean, it took 6 or 7 years, but that's fine.
Wow, it's taken 6 or 7 years for you to get here to this point.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow, congratulations. That's actually great that you've actually made it, and it's actually happened in the same week almost. Two of your
Yeah,
projects.
no, it was a hell of a week. I mean, it was some week, all right. I've never had a week like that in my life. I was just like, oh my god, I didn't even think that people knew who I was, uh, and like, so now it's just like, okay, they know that it's my song. They know that I'm in the show. So yeah, it was a change for me. I mean, because I was almost that. Yeah, I think I've seen you in something, guy.
That's not a bad thing to be.
Like when people used to meet me, they just used to go, "Ah."
That's really funny. I have to ask you briefly about Aladdin because obviously it was a musical that you were a part of.
Yeah,
That kind of it kind of did it tick every box for you in a way because you were acting and you were musically kind of involved.
that ticked more boxes than I had ink for. Um, it was, I mean, it was one thing that it was singing, dancing, and acting, but it was so much more than that that I wasn't even prepared to do. Um, I mean, it took like an immense level of training, insane hours, about 6.5 months of just rehearsal for 14 hours a day every day, um, no days off almost. And it was a combination of like a lot of physical fitness, singing, dancing, acting, and it's a different kind of singing. It's like you have to unlearn everything you ever learned and learn how to sing the Broadway way. Um, so it's a whole different muscle group. I thankfully I had an amazing vocal coach. Her name is Suzanne DeMello, and she kind of taught me how to work my muscle the way it should be worked for a Broadway show to get that kind of projection in an auditorium. Um, so yeah, that was one of the things that I think it's the hardest thing I've ever done, and I think it's the hardest thing I'm gonna do for a while. I don't. It was truly a test, and I'm just glad that it was just such a big opportunity for me, um, because there are only 6 Aladdin productions in the world. I got to be one of them. The show did immensely well, and we did about 100 shows. We were doing 8 shows a week. It was just so physically taxing but so rewarding that like I'm just that was like a one of a kind experience for me. Like also I had never trained vocally for anything, so I kind of got free lessons. uh so and by like the best of the best, so that was great. I mean, that was a big bonus. It also helped me to kind of improve on my music as well. So it's just that was great. I mean, I have no complaints about that.
Absolutely. Would you ever go back to something like that now that you've done all of these other projects?
I would definitely go back. See, the stage and theater is something I'll never leave, because that's kind of where you kind of like you discover the level you're actually at, because that's the raw level you're at. There's no age, there's no help. That's who you are. And every time I need a reality check, I go back, because it's all good when you have a track playing and a stage full of lights with smoke coming out and some pyrotechnics happening, or like when you're behind the camera where you can try 25 times to say one line. When you're on a stage and you can literally hear a person breathe while watching you, and you have no second chances, it's different. That's where you have to bring your A game. And so I've been doing plays and theater productions for a while, ever since I came to Bombay actually. And it's something that I can never leave. That's just my favorite thing to do. So whether it's singing on stage or acting on stage, it's that's where your skill actually comes into play, because everything else is really doctored and it's cosmetic, really. That's just pure. So yeah, I'm not even like, it's not even about me going back to it. I'm still doing plays. I'm doing a play on the 26th of this month. I'm doing a play on the 10th of this month,
Wow.
in 4 days. So I will keep doing that. Because if I stop doing that, then I think I'll just never become better. Because, so I mean, and I'm like, all of 26 years old. If I kind of get satisfied with where I am right now, then I don't know what I'm going to do for the next few years of my life.
Absolutely, I completely understand. To talk about just going back to the musical kind of aspect of performing on stage, if you, for example, after Sukoon, you have a few more singles or a few more musical projects, I don't know if they're coming up, if you can talk about them or not. Um, would you kind of, do you aspire to maybe have a concert one day, maybe internationally or anything like that? Do you think about things like that, or is that kind of too early for
Every
you?
every day. I want to have a concert every day. See, I feel like if we weren't going through a pandemic and the world wasn't in such a situation, I feel like I would be promoting my song and performing live. That's my favorite thing to do. I mean, it kind of sucks that I can't do it, but yeah, I definitely think about that every single day, maybe every hour these days, because I have so much time to think in my room. But but yeah, I do think about that a lot. I can't wait for the world to get rid of this problem and just get vaccinated, or just spiritually healed, or just an alien comes and fixes us, or we develop a gene that kind of takes this stuff away from us, or we just turn into dogs because they don't get it. So anything works. Just yeah, just I'm just waiting.
I think we're all waiting. We've all got our fingers crossed for that to kind of go away, hopefully, in the next few months. Taaruk, I've got to ask you one thing, even though I said I don't know whether you can talk about it. Do you have any further musical projects coming up after Sukoon?
I mean, yes, I do. I don't know when exactly, but it is soon. Um, so, I mean, hopefully, for me, I guess I'll try to do it as soon as possible. But I mean, the world takes time to function. So, I guess maybe in another couple of months or so, after I'm kind of fully done with that project and happy with it, maybe we can put it out in the world. But yeah, I'll definitely keep stuff coming now that I've started. I took a long time to start, and it would be stupid of me to stop now. so so yeah, I definitely, there is stuff coming up.
Perfect. That's really great to hear, especially because Sukoon is so relatable. And hopefully you'll keep to that arena where we kind of relate to you every time a bit more.
I mean, I'll try to make like a slightly happier song, because I'm not always that sad. It was just a situation and the mood of it. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just, you know, I won't say that I'm an expert on heartbreak, but I feel like it's really easy to think about. And I think I've thought about it a lot in my life, to have multiple thoughts and takes on it. So so I love making heartbreak songs. So it's
We
fun.
don't, we, but as you say, we don't want you to be known as a heartbreak song maker.
Yeah, I don't want to be one either. But I'll try to make something happier, you know.
Yeah, I think that would be nice to hear you singing something happier. So
Yeah.
I'm going to wrap up there. Thank you so much for talking to me. It's been wonderful
Thank
talking
you
to
so
you.
much. It's been all my pleasure.
Thank you very much. And I wish you all the best with the forthcoming projects. And I will look out for you in various other things as the months and years.
Thank you so much.